Okay, here it is, the Ruger LC9s. I am definitely living in the moment because less than 30 minutes ago I was at 14K Golden Pawn. Thanks, fellas. Always good doing business with you guys. And here is the box. Well, thanks for watching. No, I'm just kidding. So, inside the box, well, you can pretty much expect everything that you're going to see, basically. Here is the owner's manual, of course. And, of course, this is the Ruger LC9s, so I'm guessing that this manual is going to be slightly different than the LC9 manual, but you guys get the picture. The manual, some marketing items. Where's the Ruger? Here it is, the Ruger sticker. I was getting concerned. And, of course, I've got a fake magazine. This is the safety version of the LC9s, and so they give you a fake magazine because this has a magazine disconnect. And here's the lock, and of course they give you an extra base plate right here, but this is the flush fit base plate, so there's that. And then of course the firearm, which comes in a garbage bag. We'll go ahead and set this box over. And the firearm, of course, comes with its own rubber. Right here, it says the striker fired Ruger LC9. So, and there it is. This is the Ruger LC9s. I'm very pleased to have this in. And the thing is that I got a chance to try this LC9s, or a LC9s, not too long ago. And I was so impressed by the trigger that I could not help thinking about this thing over and over again. So the trigger is absolutely great, but we're going to get into that in a little bit. I just wanted to do the unboxing part just so you could see what actually comes with the LC9s and to get some close-up looks at it. And after I go to the range and I do the intro video, you'll get even more close-up looks at the Ruger LC9s. So far, so good. The trigger feels great right out of the box. It is a nice little trigger. But, again, we're going to get into that in a little bit. The trigger working doesn't mean that the firearm is necessarily going to put rounds down range. But so we'll be able to get back with you on that. So, all right, that's it for now, folks. All right, folks, back from the range, which was actually just yesterday. Folks, I got to tell you, this was actually a very nice gun to shoot. I do like this. It makes me look like a better shooter because it's also very accurate. It's point of aim with these sights, so that's very good. It's going to be a very good carrier. Very accurate. And this is actually the second LC9 I've had. I had the LC9 Standard about 6+ years ago. And the difference between this one and the LC9 of the days of yore was that it was a hammer-fired one, the LC9 Standard. It had a big old wide opening in the back here, and you could see the hammer functioning and stuff like that. Long, gritty, double-action trigger pull. And it was functional, it did okay, but it was not the greatest trigger. And also the LC9 Standard from the days of yore had a big old loaded chamber 2x4 that stick up here that had toy gun painting. It was all orange painting and stuff like that. Loaded went up, and it was a huge eyesore on the firearm, which would have otherwise been, like this one, a very sexy, good-looking firearm. And thankfully, Ruger did away with that because it was really ugly. It really detracted from the appearance of the firearm. So you don't have that anymore. We have the little peep window here where we could see if we have a round in the chamber, which, of course, folks, even though someone's still going to go into my comment section and lecture me about trigger safety, my guns are never loaded at the table. But proceeding on here, and I am not exaggerating when I tell you that, indeed, it's confirmed. This is the best trigger on a single stack 9mm handgun that I have ever tried. So that is actually saying something. Very good job, Ruger, especially since this was only $255. If you get a chance to get the LC9s or if you've been thinking about getting the LC9s, get it while you can, because word on the street has it that they have discontinued the LC9s. I did not believe it at first, but I went on to Ruger's website, and the only LC9s that they actually had on their website were dealer exclusives. Talo, Davidson's, and all that other stuff, but they didn't seem to have the LC9s or the LC9s Pro regular versions. So I've got to believe that that might be true. Plus, I'm assisted on that with another dealership that was online talking about how Ruger has discontinued the LC9s and the LC9s Pro. Apparently, they're going with the EC9s, which the difference between the LC9 and the EC9 are the economy type of appointments with that firearm. The sights are not removable or adjustable. They're all part of the slide, so you can't change them out. They're actually part of the slide. The material that the gun is made of it's a slightly different finish, and the serrations in the back are further between and bigger and stuff like that. But it's still supposed to be a very good gun. So the EC9 I'm seeing for about $210 to $225. This LC9S was $255. I was lucky to find one. I was looking for them. I would see them, and then 3 minutes later they would be gone. And I acted really, really quickly because we're not going to get another chance to get the LC9S or the LC9S Pro. If they discontinued it, obviously, you're going to be spending more money later on. And the reason I went at it instead of the EC9 is because I want to be able to replace this front sight with a fiber optic, which I am pretty sure I'm going to be doing. Now, back to the shooting. This shoots very well. The trigger is very predictable, very light. I've got to say that this trigger is probably about 4.5 pounds. It feels like 4.5 pounds. It's a very light trigger. Actually much lighter than the Walther PPS-M2. And recoil management with this, again, I think might have something to do with this spring and guide rod setup that they've got going here. But it may not be. It just is a very comfortable gun to shoot. And again, it's pretty accurate for me, okay? And these 3-dot sights here, let me pick you up here, see if I can get us a sight picture for you. There are some downsides with the LC9S, just like the other LC9s, and that is that takedown. You have to flip down this tab right here, right? You got to push that down, and you can see that there's a little pin inside there, right? And you have to line this up and pull this little pin out, which is separate. I'm not a big fan of having small pieces to deal with, but $258, I really don't give a crap. And with all other firearms, I'm sure that there's going to be other downsides. Right now, I don't know of many. Now, another problem with this, and I got to say it probably just applies to this example, is that with about 4 or 5 magazines that I was loading, on about the 4th or 5th round, it would stop right at the feed ramp. So I might send this off to Ruger to see if they could polish the feed ramp, or I might give them a call and see if anybody else has had that problem or something like that. Or if you guys had one and you had that problem, let me know. It wasn't doing it with all of them. It was cycling whole magazines well a lot of times, but there were enough times, probably about 4 or 5 times, that it actually stopped on round number 4 or round number 5. It wasn't stopping on round number 2, and it wasn't stopping on round number 6 or 7. It was either 4 or 5. It might be the magazine, or I might need the feed ramp polished or something like that. So I'll probably be giving Ruger a call pretty soon. So if you just take that away, this was a very good gun to shoot. And I was doing double taps with this, and double taps are actually very controllable. Of course, not as accurate because double taps are double taps, but I was doing double taps into it, and maybe these rounds just don't have as much effect coming out of the Ruger because he didn't change the look on his face the whole time I was shooting him. But it still felt pretty good. And I will say again that I feel like this is a very sexy single stack 9mm handgun. Look at that. Let's just bring it up close, and let me be slow about it here because some people might want a good close-up look. Right? I'll bring it back just a little bit. Here's the top, minus the loaded went-up plank here on the back. And again, I did decide to get the LC9S, not the LC9S Pro, which is minus the safety and minus the magazine disconnect. The magazine disconnect thing does not bug me as much because, for one, I only paid $258 for the gun, and for two, your odds of getting into a defensive encounter are very, very, very low, and so probably your odds of getting into a defensive encounter and having the magazine disconnect be an issue with you are probably even lower. So, I don't care. I would rather not have the magazine disconnect, and I do wish they had the Pro. That would have been nicer. Good texturing on the back of the grip here. Trigger safety. That was not on the LC9 standard right here. And that's probably a good idea because this is a light trigger. And you might want some other safety features like that to ensure that this thing's not going to somehow, some way, through some freak incident, go off. So yeah, this is the Ruger LC9s. I'm very glad to get it. It does feel good to shoot. It is an accurate gun to shoot. And I'm not going to carry it until I get my little problem resolved. I've got another magazine on order, by the way. And I'm going to see if I have that same problem with that magazine. And then I'm going to proceed from there. I should be getting that magazine anytime now. And folks, again, if you see the Ruger LC9s and you get a chance to get it, pick it up because you may not get another chance if they really indeed discontinued the Ruger LC9s and the LC9s Pro. If not, and you still like this gun and its profile and its looks and everything like that, the EC9s is said to be no slouch. So I don't think you could go wrong there either. You just won't be able to switch the sights out. So, and folks, don't forget to check out Two and Proper on Patreon. Folks, we have had to go to Patreon. We have had to go to subscriber level, viewer supported type of format because YouTube has definitely, unfairly, stiffed conservative channels, gun channels, and stuff like that. They call it advertiser friendly. But it all came in the shadow of one of the mass shootings. Of course, they like to put the responsibility in the laps of the law-abiding citizens. And so YouTube does what any other leftist organization does. It shuts down free speech. So with that in mind, if you like what Two and Proper Citizen Carry channel has been doing and you would like to support us for only $1 a month or $3 a month, you never have to think about it again. It automatically comes out of your check. You can help support Two and Proper Citizen Carry channel. This is the only way we can get this stuff done. And also, don't forget to check out Two and Proper on WordPress. That's the controversial piece. That's where I say things that the establishment people really don't like. So check out Two and Proper on WordPress. That's the blog that I try to update about every 2 weeks. And also don't forget to check out Two and Proper on Instagram. Pretty gun pictures. But that's it, folks. I'm Chris, or Two and Proper. My email address is scrolling across the bottom of the screen as we speak right now. That's twoandproper@gmail.com. Write and I will answer you, provided you're not being a jerk about whatever it is you have to say, and if I've got the time. Thanks, folks. God bless America, and keep on protecting your families, yourselves, your country, its flag, and its honor. We need more patriots in this country because it's the right thing to do. Okay, here we go. The Ruger LC9s. First shots with this example, and so far we're just going to go ahead and do this at a human target and see if it fires in succession and all that other stuff. But here we go. Point and shoot first. Ooh, and that last one is straight dead in the middle of the chest. Recoil's pretty managed. Okay, let's do another 7 rounds. I don't like the way this guy is looking at me, so I'm going to kind of take my time and do some headshots. And I am going to aim right between his eyes. How's that? Hang up. There you go. Yeah, I'm satisfied. I'm gonna aim for the guy's chest/heart area. See how we do here. Hopefully we don't get any more backups on the ammunition like that one. Here we go. Next we'll try double tap. Not particularly aiming, I'm just gonna run double taps. We'll see how it takes it. Clear. Alright. I don't like the way this guy's looking at me, so I'm gonna take my time and aim for the peaches.